This is Exleys on the NFL unfiltered. UK style, let's get into it.
What's up, guys? Exleys on the NFL. I am Tony, and thought I had it right. And again, that over there, it's confused me using it this way. This is Stephen. We together are obviously Exleys on the NFL, and we're going to jump straight into it with our top stories of the week. You are up, my friend.
Well, there's big news for the international fans. The NFL has announced a multi-year commitment to play at least 3 regular season games in Rio de Janeiro between 26 and 2030.
That is, it's not a lot of time. It's 4 years.
Well, that's 4 years for 3 games. So
yes, what I was going to say was that's a lot of football over those 4 years that is potentially going to rocket ship the NFL further into international waters.
Well, I think it was last year, Roger Goodell said he was committed to bringing it to fans outside of America. And what better way to do it than to actually play the games outside of America?
Yeah, I see another podcaster saying that they don't think that, not in a bad way, it's controversial. They don't feel like they should play games over here and abroad and stuff. I do. I think it is amazing for us, although we've not been because we've never been able to get tickets. And I've seen on Facebook some guy say, well, the last 5 years that I've been going over multiple games, he's been to every single game that's been over here. So what's that, 3 games a year? So he's been for the last 4 years to 3 games. I think it should be limited to, maybe you can go every year, but not to all 3 games, because people like me and you, we can't get tickets because...
Yeah, I mean, we spent literally hours earlier this year trying to get in to be able to get tickets. And by the time we got in, the only thing that was left was £600 tickets.
Yeah, and I do not have £600 just lying around, and I've got kids. You don't have kids, and I'm sure as shit you haven't got £600 laying around for a ticket. It is a massive kick in the teeth for the amount of years we've been watching the NFL. We've only recently been able to not just find it on YouTube, but find it on TV.
I can see why some American fans don't like it, is because for us watching it, you have to stay up late or you have to get up really early.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand that side of it, but at the same time, everybody should be able to enjoy it.
100%.
I get it's an American-born sport and what have you, but if you think of the market outside of America, it can only help make the game better.
Yeah, the more money coming into the game internationally can only make it better. And if it's being played internationally, you're going to get more international players or more international people wanting to come and play the game.
Yeah, and that can only help it, surely.
I would have thought so, but I just want to see a game.
Yeah, I really want to see a game.
Tough news out of New England. Patriots defensive coordinator Terrell Williams has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. We are wishing him the best. That is
it's never a good one.
No, any form of cancer is fucking horrible. And that's why I'm wearing my Crucial Catch jersey today in support, solidarity, if you like. And I really like this jersey as well. So it's a win-win for me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, whatever you feel about the Patriots is irrelevant. You don't wish cancer on anyone at the end of the day. No. Hopefully he gets better and beats it.
Yeah, the advancement in medication and research and stuff nowadays is...
Especially if you catch it early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the Giants also took a hit off the field. Owner John Mara announced he's been diagnosed with cancer.
What the fuck? Mate, it's
just insane.
All round. Yeah, that's absolutely bonkers, isn't it? I didn't see the second one. I didn't see the Giants owner, but I did see the Patriots one. And then when you was reading that, I was like, wait, I just said that. That's fucking crazy. That is absolutely bonkers. You can't really say too much on anything like that. It is a crap thing to obviously have.
Yeah, it's bad to have to deal with it.
Best. Yeah, we do wish them the best. But so we don't drag ourselves down with it, because that's a shit thing to think of. But we'll move on. This one's funny. What more of a British thing to happen to someone? Over in Dublin, Steelers backup QB Skylar Thompson was jumped and robbed on Friday night. He's He's on IR anyway, but luckily he only had minor injuries and still with the team. That's just fucking crazy. I seen it on X and I was like, fuck.
It was like the first night he was here or something.
Yeah, that's just typical, isn't it? Typical British behaviour. Fuck it, let's mug them.
It's just, but it's the backup QB, you know. It's not even the one that's multi-millionaire.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I can't believe
But
it. Welcome to Ireland.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. We'll move on to the trading block, which is our quick fire round.
Yeah. Titans are sending cornerback Jarvis Brownlee to the Jets in a late round 2020.
I don't know anything about that.
No, I mean,
I don't think there's been
seen flashes of him over the last couple of years, but nothing major. So
no.
Obviously weren't hyped on him.
Texans traded offensive tackle Cam Robinson to the Browns, a veteran with over 100 career starts. That's actually really good.
Yeah, Browns definitely do. So I think he can only really help the Browns. I don't think he can make it worse.
No, definitely not. I thought this was a good idea after we had our conversation last week about explaining the NFL, maybe try and pull in new people, help them understand the game. So I thought it'd be good if we took it off with a 2-point conversion explanation. Steve, if you want to run it down.
Yeah, so obviously after a touchdown, you get the extra point. And you get two choices. You get the kick, usually from the 15, as long as there's no flags or anything. And that'll give you 1 point. So you get 6 from your touchdown, plus 1 point if you kick the field goal. Or you can go from the 2-yard line. You got one shot to get a play. You don't have multiple downs. You literally have one shot to get into the end zone. And get the 2 points.
I can't even tell you how many times I've seen the 2-point conversion. It's usually they just go for the one with the field goal.
Yeah, because it's almost automatic. It's because it's from the 15, so it's so close. It's almost automatic.
You say that's automatic. Last week, how many blocked field goals were there? And then this week with the Packers,
that was
they had
the field goals though. The field goals are different. They come from different distances. But yeah, because it's from the 15, 9 times out of 10, the chances of missing that or it being blocked is insane because you can just sky it over, so they can't even touch it. But
that is
going for the 2 is, as
slim
a lot
pickings.
of people say, it's much harder. But if you're down a certain amount of points, go for the 2, and you could be a field goal difference away.
Yeah, if you're just that far down that you need to get them points, I've seen it done that way, that they'll go for the 2 over the 1. But it's not very often you do see that happening. So, excuse me. Contract signings, extensions, and unfinished business. So we had this conversation last week about why would you get rid of a veteran kicker like this? And then I see this one come up. I was like, what
the Giants have signed Younghoe Koo to their practice squad. Which I think is quite interesting.
That happened straight after we recorded last week, I think.
Yeah. Pretty much. I think it was within 12 hours or something stupid.
Yeah.
I woke up to it, I think.
I think I'd literally just set everything to upload and I was like, that is unbelievable that we've just had that conversation and he's been signed already, because he's a veteran kicker and I don't think there's many field goals that he's missed in his time with the Falcons.
But even so, he was with them for 7 years. Does that not earn you a little trust to make yourself better?
Yeah, if you miss a few, but you've been with them 7 years, you'd be like, give them that little bit of leeway. But I do get that because
Eagles had it last year with Jake Elliott. He missed a few, but he'd been with the team so long and re-signed and what have you. They were like, right, we know he's got the skills, and this year he hasn't missed any so far.
I actually said after the block field goal this week that we had that I reckon the Packers are going to get rid of our kicker because of that. We had it last week, we had it this week, but I don't think we will because he's just had a new contract extension. I mean, I'm hoping not because it's just 2 block field goals, but it is a fickle position to play where they will get rid of you as quick as keep you.
But a blocked field goal is a bit of a different thing. You can't control the guy coming off the edge or the guy that's leap in the middle or something like that.
And
if you miss it, it's a different story.
There's not many times he has missed a field goal. I'd say a handful of times. But anyway, so the Texans are releasing safety CJ Gardner-Johnson,
who we traded to the Texans for
Yeah, I was
an
gonna say that.
O-lineman in Kenyon Green, and we released Kenyon Green. So
Ooh.
both of them that have been traded have now been released.
There is no word on where either of them are going at the moment, as far as I'm aware.
No, as far as I can see, I mean, some people are saying he should come back to the Eagles. I understand it. We could do with the help. Our second safety spot isn't great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the guys we've got aren't going to get better without a chance to play.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? Having too many people in.
They're on rookie deals, so...
If you have too many, then no one's going to develop their skills to be able to get better in their game, in their personal game. Anyway.
Packers are busy, signed tackle Brant Banks to the roster, brought in wide receiver Jacoby Keeney James, and released McCole Hardman. Honestly, I didn't see the McCole Hardman being released.
I was going to say that. I didn't see that coming, but at the moment, we only seem to be playing Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden, and Devontae Wicks is out, I believe. We've got so many wide receivers, it's hard to keep track of who's in, who's out, who's on IR.
Yeah.
But it's only Romeo Doubs really playing, and
although he had a pretty good game.
Yes. Actually, Matthew Golden played pretty well as well on Sunday.
Speaking of that game, I know it's not great news for you. I interestingly wrote down stats because that was quite a mad game, realistically. It was a tied 40.
Yeah, that was absolutely bonkers.
Dak had 319 yards for 3 touchdowns. Jordan had 337 for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, the stats were so close the whole game. And at the end of the game...
That's crazy.
Yeah, if they hadn't blocked that field goal, I think it could have been a different story. That gave them a bit more of a let's fucking go. Yeah. Both teams came in with we're going to fucking win this. We are not losing this game. That was the whole vibe I got from the whole game.
I have to say the Cowboys looked much better this week than they have in previous weeks.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know whether that was
Packers looked a lot better compared to last week.
Yeah, we definitely put up a lot more points, and it looked a cleaner game. It was a lot safer played, which was a bit weird if you ask me.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't throw the ball. It was more run predominant with most of their plays. I don't know whether that was like safe play calling. Fuck's sake. After last week's game, but
that probably had a hand on it.
That game's done, and it's on to the next. And next we have I don't remember. No, don't. I was going to write Green Pension then. Green.
Won't get you far.
I got to Google it because my brain is swimming.
The googly is so helpful.
Green Bay games. Come on. So slow. So we have got Bengals next. It's another late one, man. That's week 6. We just had week 4. Why is it showing me week 6? No, it's not. Yeah. Why is it showing me week 6? We're on bye. That's why, for fuck's sake. My brain's so fucked. I did know that as well because I was looking at my fantasy football that I'm part of some fantasy football team on a Facebook group that I joined. I have won no games. I've picked the shittest team. It's absolutely dog shit. But yeah, I did see
Eagles have got the Broncos.
That's going to be a funny one, I think.
I don't know. We might come out better on that one. I mean, we just grounded the fuck out against the Bucs. Like, that was ridiculous.
That was a hard game to watch.
I don't know what the fuck happened in the second half, but those play calls were ridiculous. They were either trying to run up the middle, which wasn't working because you got big ass Tresson Wirfs in there, and they knew it was coming. Like they got straight into the backfield so many times, it was insane.
Yeah.
Or they were throwing to AJ, who just couldn't catch the ball. Like, it was all they were trying to do, and we just kept punting.
It is a slow start to the season. I think it's been an interesting start to the season.
Well, I don't think it helps that when I saw a clip, it was over 100 Fahrenheit, which was, I think, like mid-30s in Celsius, close to 40 degrees on the field.
Hot. That is really hot.
And you got to remember, they're all sprinting around, and like, so they would have been sweating their ass off. And the visitors' bench is purposely in the sun in the afternoon.
Yeah, that is...
So the home team have got the shade, and visitors haven't, so...
Yeah, it's done deliberately,
They must have been sweating their asses off and like mentally just kind of breaking down a bit. But As I say, we ground it out. Although we did get a blocked punt to start the game, returned for a touchdown.
That's nice. That is
That
nice.
literally started the game.
In the Packers game, that blocked field goal was run back for 2 points.
At least it was a field goal, so it was only 2 points. And
Mhm.
that clip I sent you of the end of our game, the punter running, that was done purposely. We had 6 seconds to run out.
Yes, I did see that, and I was like, well, what the fuck is he doing?
So we were up I think it was 5 or 6 points. So it was wait 6 seconds, take the safety, give them 2 points, and we're still up.
I think I've said this to you already, but anyone that watches this podcast all the way to this point, I know there's not many of you, but if you do watch the highlights, and I was watching the highlights on DAZN for a while, and you get 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes. If you watch the highlights on YouTube, you get 25-minute games. And one game from last week was actually the full game, was the highlights. And I can't remember who it was. It was 108 minutes long. So watch your highlights on YouTube. They are so much better than DAZN, whatever it is. DAZN. But anyway, moving on to injuries for this week. And this week has been one hell of a rough frigging week for injuries for a lot of players. Eagles OLB Nolan Smith to IR, out for 4+ weeks. I don't know what.
That's his tricep injury.
You did tell me that.
Re-aggravated it, apparently. So they put him on IR to try and stop it tearing again.
Fucking horrible, man. Giants wide receiver Malik Nabers tears his ACL.
I saw a clip of that on the thing I was watching the Giants get. That did not look nice.
I
that
don't
was
think
such a weird. He came down and his knee looked like it just went sideways. Almost.
I think I've seen that.
But
as well.
Not sideways where it goes like that, sideways where it goes like that.
I think I've seen that one as well, to be honest. Next one. Oh, Christ.
Steelers have lost both Jalen Ramsey and Calvin Austin for several weeks. Hamstring for Jalen and shoulder for Calvin.
Horrible, man. The Bucks lose OLB Ogbu Okronkwo to a torn tricep. I have no way he said his name
slightly
right.
incorrect.
Is it?
Yeah, he's actually an Eagle.
Why does it come up as Bucks then?
Maybe because it was to do with the Bucks game, but he had the injury in the Bucks game, tore a tricep. He's off to IR, so we've lost at least 2 linebackers. But yeah, Ogbo Okoronoco or something, I think it's pronounced. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's 2 linebackers gone.
That's mad, isn't it?
Biggest blow though, and this just sounds horrible. Tyreek Hill dislocated his knee and tore multiple ligaments. He's in for surgery. Season's done. His ACL went. So pop your knee out and tear all the ligaments in the joint. That's horrible, man.
A guy talking about that. He is 30 now. He'll be 31. So because he's out for the rest of the season. He's 30 now. He'll be 31 next season. And he was saying, is this the last time we could see Tyreek Hill on the field? And he did show a clip of him leaving. He was smiling and waving.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's suggesting maybe that's he's smiling because he knows he's done in the NFL now. And that's his
Well, you got to
goodbye.
think, for someone like that, for a receiver, your knee's pretty important.
Yeah, does he know
with
that
all
he's
that
not coming
damage
back?
he's done,
Yeah.
will he come back the same?
Yeah. So maybe this is the last time, or that was the last time we're going to see Tyreek Hill on the field. And it's a shit way to have to go out, but maybe that is the deciding factor for him.
Yeah,
decision,
you look at some of the great people, injuries taking them out.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe that's what he needed to take him out, and that's how he feels now. But this is speculation.
Played for the Packers, tight end, Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
He was on track for such a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a Hall of Fame worthy career before his injury, but he had a neck injury, and that was it. He was done. It's happened to a lot of people.
Game of the week. Well, I'll let you decide the game of the week because I didn't watch all of them to be able to make an informed decision.
Well, I was literally going through. I watched a lot of the highlights, and I was literally watching the highlights of the Dolphins-Jets game.
That actually looked like a rather good game for...
Yeah, I'm not sure about game of the week, but the Dolphins looked a lot better this week.
Mm-hmm.
and the Jets looked better with Justin Fields in.
That little cheeky behind the back pass was really
That was
good.
ridiculous.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that, you need to watch just that clip at least of Tua just shoveling it behind himself. It looked really controlled the way he threw that back as well.
Yeah, but it psyched out like the lineman. It was crazy.
I've seen it done before, excuse me, and it doesn't look so controlled. I think I've seen Pat Mahomes do it, maybe Jordan Love do it. And
it's
they
usually just
throw
like
it.
lobbed.
Yeah, they throw it and it's kind of a wobbly ball as it goes behind, and they're like trying to fumble.
It's just like a lob and juggle.
Yeah, but when he threw it, I seen Jordan Love do it in our game on Sunday, but it wasn't behind the back, it was more to the side, and it was a wobbly ball, and either Matthew Golden or Josh Jacobs caught it, and they were kind of juggling it to catch it. But when Tua threw it, it was smooth. I think maybe
it was almost like a spiral.
I think he should maybe stand backwards and throw it over his shoulder to see he might actually fucking hit a receiver sometimes. But I don't know. I can't say for definite which I would say is the game of the week for me. I mean, the Bengals got bummed by the Broncos.
That was quite a shocker because it's the Bengals, but the Bengals aren't as great without Joey B.
That's what I was going to say. The Bengals don't have Joey B at the moment. Chiefs did kick the Ravens a little bit.
Yeah, they stomped the Ravens, which was very surprising for Lamar being in for the most of that game.
Yeah, considering how the Chiefs began week 1, 2, and 3.
They were looking so much better this week.
Yeah. But then I always want to say the Bears look really good this week, but they played the Raiders. But then the Jags.
The Jags defense at the moment is insane. I watched some of that and they got like 2 or 3 turnovers.
And then I
believe they even picked, and it was crazy.
So the Patriots just steamrolled the Panthers, but it's the Panthers.
That was quite impressive to watch. Yeah, but that was quite impressive to watch. It was Drake May, who everybody thought was just going to be absolute dud and he wouldn't last more than a couple of years, and he was quite good. Jackson Dart.
I was literally just going to say Jackson Dart. That was phenomenal for a rookie to come in and have had no real NFL experience to just be like, we've got to take him out. We're going to put you in.
It was against the Chargers as well, who were 3-0.
And the Chargers are 3-0. And the Giants are what? They were
1-3, I think. 1-2.
And they've come in, and Jackson Dart has thrown that because I seen him on. He was free on my fantasy league. No one had picked Jackson Dart, and I was like, as soon as I seen the news that Jackson Dart was going to be playing, I was like, I am drafting him. I'm picking him up quick, and I picked him up. It made no difference to my team, but I was like, yeah, I got Jackson Dart, and no one else has. That is an asset.
They were 0-3.
And now they're
Giants.
1-3.
But they were 0-3 with Russell Wilson.
This is what I'm saying. The Giants couldn't get any worse. The teams, I can't pick for me. There is no team that has performed well enough to say that's my game of the week.
No, I can't. But I will say at least 2 of the top games. I've got the Giants Chargers. That was a good game to watch.
Yeah, it was. That was a very good game to watch. I watched the Packers game first thing in the morning, and I did watch nearly all of the Chargers-Giants game, but then I started doing something else and didn't watch all of it, but had it on in the background. But I didn't watch the Colts and Rams game. How was that?
That was quite good. I mean, the Rams are the Rams, you know. Puka Nacua had insane stats. I mean, Puka Nacua is just on a tear right now. And they've got a few other really good players. And obviously, they've got Matthew Stafford. But
who is the most one of the most underrated QBs in the NFL?
Him and Daniel Jones, you know, 2 of the most underrated, and they both went head to head. There was a couple of turnovers, I think, on both sides as well, which was wild. Matthew Stafford doesn't turn over a lot. That's just kind of crazy thing, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was Colts Rams, and the Rams came out on top. But it was quite a wild one to watch, if you ask me. I think if you want a good game to watch, that's one of them.
So. Moving on to the rumour mill. Yeah, you're up first on that one.
And I think we should switch them around because I don't know anything about that one as you do, and I know about the other one. So I'll go with Russell Wilson from the Giants could be a potential trade piece after being benched, which I understand. I mean, Jackson Dart looked really good. If he plays well again this week, you're going to leave him in.
Unlikely that the Giants are going to want to put Russell Wilson back in. They've had 3 games with him,
and he didn't win any.
No.
But, I mean, you've still got Jameis Winston on as a good QB backup veteran. I think they got somebody else on their team, or they traded for somebody else. I forget which.
I don't remember.
So, and Russell Wilson's got like I think 3 million roster hit. So any team that does trade for him isn't going to have some mega salary to deal with. So he'd be quite easy to take on if you need a veteran presence or if you need somebody better than your QB currently is.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, Saints
can't do any worse. Anyway. So on the rumor I stumbled across was a different one it's the same player as last week. OBJ could be a target for the Cowboys. I mean, it could be utter bullshit. I follow a rumors X account, and this was one they pumped out at the beginning or the end of last week. I mean, what is OBJ's free at the moment? What could it hurt for the Cowboys to actually get him?
Yes and no. I agree with both sides of having him and not having him. They're doing pretty well at receiver. And I think part of the reason OBJ hasn't been signed is he still sees himself as a really good receiver. So he wants to be paid as a really good receiver.
100%. It's just one of them rumors.
I can see it. But I could also see him getting signed and being a good piece for if somebody goes down or something. But I think the role he will be wanted for, he doesn't want. I think that's why he's still a free agent.
Yeah, he's clearly turning down the mini contracts that he wants, the big bucks. Anyway, players of the week. Mine is Jackson Dart. That's a given for me.
Yeah, I did wonder.
I don't have his stats, but what other rookie can you say has been thrown in to a game and just has just balled out and fucking won the game? I don't think there's
against
another
the Chargers as well. It wasn't like it was.
It wasn't against the Bears. It wasn't against the Raiders.
Saints, it wasn't some bottom team. It was the Chargers who were playing really well.
Yeah. So for me, that is my pick of the week. And then your pick of the week?
Puka Nacua. Massive day for Puka.
13
receptions, 170 yards, and a touchdown.
That's big by any wide receiver.
170 yards is crazy.
I think he's a different breed.
He is just a guy who just shows up whenever you need him. And he will try and... One of the ways I view him when he's got the ball is he's almost like a running back. He will try and just run through you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
A lot of receivers will try and just cut and, and he can do all that. But if he sees 2 or 3 receivers, he will just try and barrel through.
Yeah, 100.
But I also want it noted, he is currently, so far, 503 yards on the season.
It's only week 4. Going into week 5. That's absolutely mad.
He hasn't had a game under 90 yards.
That's crazy.
That's
absolutely crazy.
And he's only a second year, I want to say, receiver.
Something like that, yeah. But anyway, on to our viewer question. What do you think about OBJ to Dallas? Good move or a circus waiting to happen with the diva receiver that he seems to be? Leave it in the comments below or message us on Instagram, TikTok. That's about it. I don't have anything else. How about you?
No, I'm out for the week.
This week. Thanks for tuning in to Exleys on the NFL. Follow us on Instagram at Exleys NFL Podcast and TikTok at TonyXley12. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget we are on Spotify and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Exleys on the NFL. Follow us on Instagram at Exleys NFL Podcast and TikTok at TonyXley12. Hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time.